Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 200 of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil, and joining me every single time, it is Master of the Core.
I am Will. Hey, everyone. 200 episodes. Dude.
200. And again, we did another podcast before this one, so, I mean, we've been doing this for a while.
We're old. Oh, we're old.
We're old. We started podcasting together in the before times.
That's right. We used, smoke signals and passenger pigeons.
I was going to say, yeah, carrier pigeons. Yeah. We told these tales in covered wagons, see?
And then it was by telegraph.
We did it live for the Kaiser, see? Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
All right. So do we have any news? I don't think.
I have news. I'm going to be getting the Volume 2 of the Green Lantern Corps Omnibus, and I'm going to get the latest Green Lantern hopefully by the end of the week. We'll see how that works out. So I'll get caught up.
Oh, it's been a minute since again, you heard no delay in the podcast, kids, but we recorded ahead, so we skipped last week. We did get an announcement. What is it? February. We're getting a Green Lantern Corps book again.
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So
now I did see some posts by Jeremy Adams saying that Kyle is going to be in the main Green Lantern book with Hal, and everybody else is going to be in the Corps book.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah. I think that was on Twitter, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and double check.
Wow. So
but someone said, "Well, but Kyle's on the cover of the Corps book." And those covers don't always tell the truth. So.
And again, they might just draw the Green Lantern Corps without telling him who's in the book and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Boy, so Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner in the same book. Boy, I wonder which book we're going to lean towards every month.
I don't know, Phil.
What
book could that be?
So that means John Stewart and Guy and everyone else will be in the other book. Okay.
Yeah, and I hope we get some alien lanterns, and
yeah.
I'd like to find out, because there's a lot of stuff that just kind of, well, with the New 52, as we've seen, all those characters that, we loved from the Green Lantern Corps book, pre-New 52, just got dropped. I mean, Soranik barely has did she appear maybe once in the first year of Green Lantern Corps?
Maybe, and I'm trying to remember if she comes back at some point in New 52, maybe, but yeah, I mean, they dropped her pretty quick.
So, her, we had Izamat, and then, why can I never remember the other guy's name? But yeah, the Thanagarian and the, Ranian, just all the core as a core, Mm-hmm. So, but, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen there. I have some hopes around, hopefully less militarization of the core and more other stuff.
Yes, and hopefully they don't go with that old trope how we open every Green Lantern Corps book for the last couple of decades, have John Stewart murder someone.
It's true. Or how about we bring Katma back? That would be cool.
Yes, come on, Jeremy Adams, come on, show us you're the deep continuity nerd you say you are.
Yep. I mean, there's been a lot of things from Rebirth until now that have helped fix some of the problems that we saw with previous Green Lantern continuity, right? I mean, They did that with Rebirth. They did that with the the Lost Lanterns. They brought all of them back. Of course, they murdered all of them again, but whatever. But yeah, that's kind of one of the big things that I think that's a wrong that needs to be righted. It really does. Because, okay, Tomar Ray, don't get me wrong, I love Tomar Ray, but he died big in Crisis on Infinite Earths, okay? I feel like that one was kind of earned, right? Mm-hmm. Katma did not die spectacularly, did not die heroically, it was in the thing that we don't talk about, Phil.
Yes. Like in the
Comics Weekly.
Like in the first issue, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which kind of, I guess, brings us to, the way that Lanterns are portrayed now versus then. And I don't know. We've talked about, how powerful a Lantern is, but, it seems to get, diminished, when Hal or John or anybody's working with the Justice League, because, a Green Lantern can do anything, right? Mm-hmm. So, but to have a Green Lantern, killed so easily.
Yeah.
And I kind of think we see that in Millennium, of all things, because the Green Lanterns there really don't seem that powerful,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this book brings back a lot of things. Katma's in it, so yeah, we get a remembrance of her. And again, 30-some years later, we're still not letting Hal Jordan in the same book as Aricia.
Thank goodness. See, that's one of those things that has been retconned. Thank goodness. Yeah, that was just weird. Weird.
What? How Jordan child molester? What?
Nah, just the writer choosing to do that. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, definitely weird. Definitely.
All right. Are we getting to Millennium?
I think we're getting to Millennium. This was.
All right. I have a question. Did you have the floppies for all these?
I do somewhere.
Okay. Because I say, how'd you read these? Because I don't think they're digital. They're not on DC Comics Unlimited. DC Unlimited.
There are scans available.
Or Infinite.
Oh,
I know. I found the scans. Yes.
But I do have the issues around here somewhere, and
I thought I had at least the Green Lantern Corps issue because I have a bunch of those ones, but not this one. I don't have Millennium, and I thought I did. For some reason, I thought I read this, but I think I read a lot of the tie-ins. I don't think I read the regular miniseries.
Well, the series as a whole, comics. So this is post-Crisis, and I mean, like 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years after Crisis, right?
Yeah, this is like the second crossover after Crisis, because first they did Legends, and then they did this one. Yeah.
It feels different, right? I mean,
yeah.
Of course, it's older, but there's these comics, and I think this is true of comics then versus comics now. They're a lot denser. They're more there's a lot more word count per page. There's also a lot more panels per page.
Yep.
And from a pacing standpoint, that tends to slow things down.
Yeah.
And I really think that these were very slow reads. So, I mean...
Yes, these did move slow compared to the other comics of the time, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we're 4 issues in, and let's do it. Well, how about this? Let's do the synopsis if we got them, and then we'll talk about the whole thing if that sounds all right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the 4 issues, then we got that Green Lantern Corps tie-in. Yeah. All right. Which I thought was, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's weird. It's because, so Joe Staton was like the regular Green Lantern artist at the point, but they kind of put him on Millennium. So then, like, I know at least with 220 that we're doing tonight, they had a fill-in artist, which again, I had no problem with the art.
Bill Willingham.
Yeah.
Who was the artist on Emerald Twilight.
Oh. So we're talking about things we don't speak of, eh, Will?
Which I thought was interesting. I mean, Bill Willingham's a good artist. I think he's more known as a writer for writing, the Fable stuff and all that. For Vertigo,
not Emerald Twilight.
Or I think Justice Machine, or I can't remember what else he did. It's been a long time since I've looked at some of those things, but he's an artist too, as well as a writer. So,
all right. So, And yes, kids, this will affect the entire DC universe of 1988. There you go.
And has been totally ignored ever since. Except, although there was a new Guardian series that came out of this.
Yeah.
It only lasts a year, maybe?
I think.
Okay, I'll look that up while you're going through the synopses.
All right. So Millennium #1 from January 1988. Over. Yes, that's the title, Over. Writer Steve Englehart, penciler Joe Staton, inker Ian Gibson, colorist Carl Gafford, letterer Bob Lappin, and editor Andrew Helfer. At a secret base, the Grand Master of the Manhunters gathers all of his agents together. Each of them have close ties to a known member of the superhero community. He outlines his plan to destroy the superheroes through subterfuge. In unison, they all chant the cult's rallying cry, "No man escapes the Manhunters." On the roof of the building, Tom Kalamaku watches in horror. He runs off to warn Hal Jordan, but a squad of Manhunter androids beat him up and leave him for dead. Yeah, on an airport runway. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's like one of those classic villain things. It's like, yeah, no, we could kill him now. No, let's just put him in
Easily escapable situation.
Yeah. Well, I guess they wanted it to look like an accident, but yeah.
Yeah.
Later, the Guardian of the Universe, known as Harupa Hando Hu, and his consort, the Zamaron, Nadia Saphir, arrive on Earth. They have been gone for many years. They call together a massive assemblage of superheroes who all meet at the Green Lantern Citadel in Santa Monica. They tell them that the Millennium is upon them and the people of Earth play an important role in the world's future. Humanity is evolving, and the Guardians and the Zamarons want the superheroes of Earth to protect a group of chosen humans, a group that will become the next breed of immortals and help to usher in a new era of humanity. They warn the heroes that their ancient adversaries, the Manhunters, will stop at nothing to see that the chosen are destroyed. The heroes agree to do everything in their power to track down and protect the chosen. As each hero returns to their respective hometowns, they begin to discover that someone very near them is actually a Manhunter sleeper agent.
I'm looking at you, Lana Lang.
Read some Superman books. That's quite a going on there. Yeah. Oh, poor Lana. Oh man, they put her through the ringer.
So this started really slow. I mean, really, really slow.
Yes. Hello, how would you like to be an immortal, sir?
And, it was weekly. So it was released, over 8 weeks back in 1988, right?
Yeah, because they put one out every week, and they were like, okay, this week's tie-in issues are, this issue of Superman, this issue of Justice League, yeah.
So, to me, and in the back of second or third issue, it talks about how kind of the story came to be with Steve Englehart and Joe Staton on Green Lantern, and it's springing out of that. But what I found really interesting was, Englehart talking to the other creators, so they could get characters in there, or they could take. To me, though, and I think whatever I was reading at the time, it still felt kind of shoehorned in, right? Oh, hey, suddenly this person's a Manhunter. Nah, neener, right?
Hey, can you see this? Wait, let me see the size of that list there, all that text there.
Yeah,
that's the trivia for this issue.
Okay. Wow. Anything interesting stand out to you?
Well, first, like the Guardian says, Tara was of the Teen Titans was supposed to be one of the immortals, and they're like, oh, she dead. What? Oh, yeah. What?
And she was like,
10 mortal, 10 humans. Tara's dead. 9 humans.
8 humans. Now we're dead. We have 8.
Yes. Dr. Fate perceives that Hawkman and Hawkwoman have undergone a moral change, and it will be revealed much later that this is not the true Hawkman and Hawkwoman, but rather it is Fel Andar and Sharon Parker. Fel and Sharon are retroactively substituted for the Silver Age Hawks in several key issues, owing primarily to the continuity quagmire caused in Hawk World.
And by the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Exactly.
right.
Hal Jordan and Arisia have been dating since Green Lantern Corps 206. We'll move past that.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to do this one. All right. Guy Gardner. Why is Guy Gardner being so friendly in these? Guy Gardner
got hit in the head.
shows a personality that's so friendly and atypical for him. It's spooky. Recently, after being knocked out by
Batman, my favorite character,
and then hitting his head, he has been displaying signs of a split personality. Shockingly, in this issue, he is shown to apologize for something. And he mentions going to the antimatter. Guy mentions going to the antimatter universe. That was in Green Lantern 198, which was a Crisis tie-in. And then Kilowog's all hostile towards Rocket Red. That's because of, the whole thing in Russia that happens.
It wasn't Russia. It was the Soviet Union.
Oh, yes.
Also weird.
That's right. Yes.
Because this was before the fall of.
Oh yeah, Gorbachev's still in there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jade seemed way. I mean, compared to like modern interpretations, Jade seems way different in this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's talking about her father, Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, everyone, because Alan disappeared into limbo in Last Days of the Justice Society Special #1. Scroll way down, Lilith, and I did cover that with the rest of the Justice Society. He won't return until Wave Rider brings his team back in Armageddon Inferno #3.
Man, that is for Armageddon 2001, right?
Yeah, I think that's 91. So yeah, it's like another 3 years. Yeah, that's so weird because like Crisis, they instead of Earth 2, the Justice Society was the 1940s heroes. Then let's just throw them in limbo for a while.
Why not?
Yeah,
because we got that. Volume 3 issue of Green Lantern where, it had the Gil Kane cover. It's number 18 or 19. Where John and Guy and...
yeah.
We got the retcon of how the Green Lantern ring came and that the Starheart, blah, 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 and all that. So
Jerry China. Yeah. Black Canary mentions a prior meeting with the Manhunter. She's talking about their encounter with the Justice League of America all the way back in Justice League of America 140 and 141.
Wow.
Yes. And I remember this. Firestorm's odd behavior is attributed to an accident that fused Ronnie Raymond not with Professor Stein, but with Russian citizen Mikhail Arkadian.
Oh, is this getting into the weird Firestorm Matrix and the god?
Yeah, because for now he's like bonded, like Ronnie's bonded with a Russian, so like Firestorm's kind of more cold and logical. But then it's going to get even trippier because then the two of them are going to like merge with like a Firestorm clone that the Russians were trying to make, and that's when he becomes the Fire Elemental.
Ah, that's right.
Which leads all the way to Firestorm 100 at the end of the series, when it's revealed that Professor Stein was supposed to be the only person in the Firestorm Matrix.
Okay.
which they make that happen, and then he leaves Earth for a while. Yeah. Oh man. Behind the scenes appearance of Salak. He is not visibly present at the assemblage, but other sources show that he is in fact there. So maybe in some of the tie-ins they show him, but yeah, not in the main series, not in the Green Lantern book.
Well, I do talk about Chip. Yeah, to talk about Chip and Salak, I think.
Yeah,
is what Arisia says at some point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, that was all the trivia. That's all the trivia.
Wow, I mean it's. The Green Lantern Citadel, that's on Earth.
That's weird. Like that, yeah. The Green Lanterns had like a home address. Yeah, that's weird. On Earth,
yeah, very weird.
Well, I mean, I guess the alien appearing Green Lanterns needed some place to go. They can't just like have an apartment like Hal or John.
Yeah, what else is funny is that the Green Lantern Corps is going to end. What was it?
224.
224, like in 4 issues. So
yep.
The series was popular enough to warrant a crossover spinning out of it, right?
Did Millennium kill it?
Did Millennium kill it? I don't know. Or, I mean, we've read that.
Or was this was this an attempt to breathe some life into it?
Well, it was apparently one of the most popular. It was one of DC's most popular series
it?
At the time. So
then why did it get canceled?
Well, remember they wanted to move it as a headliner to Action Comics Weekly. And then when, that happened, both Englehart and State said, "No, we don't want to do it anymore." And then we got what we got. So it went from being one of the most popular to getting canceled and then having to wait another 2 years to get relaunched, as Volume 3, number 1 with a different writer and Emerald Dawn. And so, yeah, interesting.
And we kind of like scattered the Green Lanterns. I mean, of course, we said Katma gets killed. I mean, Arisia kind of gets ejected after a while. Kilowog moves over to the Justice League. So by the time the series gets rebooted, it's down to Hal, John, and Guy.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Craziness.
All right. Should we get to the second issue?
You bet.
Brace yourselves, kids.
Here we go. Pace is not going to change.
You know what else was like weird too? Because like, again, like, where we're at in New 52 and stuff, the Guardians are like in complete agreement. Well, they have to be because they'll like mind wipe you if you're not. Poor Ganthet. But this Guardian here, he's like, yeah, the rest of them were, some of them had ideas how to do this. Me and this Zamaronian came to Earth and decided this is the way, to evolve like 10 doing. Humans. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember, the Guardians come back. Oh, that's right. At the end of the road back, Hal and John and Guy call the Guardians back.
Yeah, that's because remember Hal goes into the central battery yet again. Yeah, and uses it to call the Guardians. Yeah.
Freaking Parallax, man.
All right, so Millennium number 2 from January 1988. Under. Remember, the first one was over. This one's under. Same creative team. All right, the Guardian, Harupa, Hando, Hu, and the Zamaronian Nadia Saphir travel across the world, seeking out those chosen to participate in the Millennium Project, the next step in human evolution. Betty Clawman, an Australian Aborigine, Takio Yakata, a Japanese businessman, Xing Po, a young citizen of Shanghai, Nikolai Latikov, a Soviet official, Celia Windward, a British black woman, Salima Branazar, an Iranian woman, Jan Willem Karuf, a South African government leader, and Gregorio de la Vega, a Peruvian layabout. En route, they meet Harbinger, who offers her aid, but when they inform her that her history of the heroes of Earth has fallen into the hands of the Manhunters, she races to the Manhunters' homeworld to undo the harm she has caused. While the Owens are engaged in their search, across the country, the Manhunters' sleeper agents strike. Lana Lang appears at the offices of the Daily Planet and attempts to expose Clark Kent as Superman. Commissioner Gordon tries to murder Batman, and Overthrow challenges the Blue Beetle. Back at the Green Lantern Citadel, Tom Kalamaku wakes up from his coma, having been brought there and his injuries healed by Kilowog. He tells what he knows of the Manhunter's plans. Harupa and Nadia then return and, to everyone's surprise, name Tom as one of the Chosen. Meanwhile, the 10th and final Chosen One, Terra's replacement, rants in his cell at Arkham Asylum. The Floronic Man! Jason Woodrow, yes.
Okay, so one thing I will say, and you can probably guess my politics.
Why not? I know one. Yes, one thing.
I of course love Hal Jordan.
Yeah. So these issues do go hard. One, we've got. Is this the one with Nancy Reagan as a Manhunter?
Oh, I can't remember. I read these pretty much back to back. So
I did too. So there's one of them. So and so we get lots of I think we get some criticism of Reagan. Which is awesome.
It's 88. Reagan's on his way out the door, so yeah.
And he already has Alzheimer's at that point. Yeah. But anyway,
what's worse, that or turning him into a Snake Man and making him battle Steve Rogers?
Both is good. So when they introduce the British woman, they say like, meanwhile in fascist England. I was like, yes, this goes hard.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. When did this become V for Vendetta? I'm like, what the hell?
Thatcher's England is fascist England. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. This is good. I'm down. We're good. I'm going to read the rest of this and I'm going to be happy now.
And then the South African guy. I mean, is this white guy, and he's just like, why am I have to be surrounded by these mongrels?
Yes, I mean all of the chosen except for Tom.
Yes.
Are pretty obvious stereotypes, right? I mean, I'm hoping we're going to get more from that as the series progresses, but initially they're very much stereotypical.
Well, was that the point? Because again, even back in the day, Tom was a stereotype.
That's true, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Floronic Man.
Yes. How about, if you don't go with Terra, maybe
Geoforce?
Geoforce? Same
power, same DNA,
Not blithering insane,
not evil and working with Deathstroke.
Yeah. Anyway, just a suggestion.
Oh my lord! But they don't show the end of that Superman scene. It's so funny because I forget what issue is. Is it?
She jerks his shirt off right in the Millennium.
She rips it open. But if you read the Superman issue, that's the one day he decided not to wear the suit under his clothes. So she just like rips open his bare chest. It's hairy chested John Byrne. I'm like, ah.
He's a big country boy.
And the Daily Planet staff is like, oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, I'm back to work.
What the heck?
And then Lana Lang like jumps out the window and flies away.
Seriously? Wait, how does she fly?
I forget. She has Manhunter armor or something. Yeah, it's something. Okay. Yeah. They go into the whole thing. Yeah, like not only was she brainwashed to be a Manhunter agent, but like all the kids like her in her generation in Smallville, they were all brainwashed too. So they brainwashed the whole generation of Smallville. Yeah. And like even then when Clark, because they really wanted to keep an eye on the last Kryptonian. Yeah, so
yeah, like
they brainwashed her, and when he left Smallville, they had her like follow him like a stalker and stuff.
Nice.
And basically, when he was in Metropolis, they had her living in Metropolis for a while, and like she ended up basically homeless because she couldn't hold a job because she kept blacking out. Everyone thought she was like a drunk or something, but no, it was the Manhunters. Every time they took control of her, she'd have a blackout.
Wow. And this was Byrne Superman, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he put her through the ringer, man. I mean, issue 2 is Superman. Yeah, Lex Luthor kidnaps her and has his agents like work her over because like that's what that's the one where he's trying to figure out Superman's secrets and stuff, and that's when Amanda McCoy's like, oh yeah, Clark Kent Superman. He's like, what? He's like, don't be stupid. He's like, no man with that amount of power would live an ordinary life. He's like, get out, you're fired.
Nice. I mean, so what happens with Lana? Does she get deprogrammed and everything? Because this was long before the Triangle era. So...
Yeah. Because Superman basically, he follows her back to Smallville, and there's a Manhunter ship like under the town, so he has to go in there. And I think they battle. He battles the Manhunter agent who's he killed and then posed for years as like Smallville's doctor.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the easiest way just to brainwash. As the babies were born, he just brainwashed them on the spot. So
get them on. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and Commissioner Gordon was just a robot. It wasn't the real Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Push.
Oh yeah,
window.
Oh yeah, he throws Batman at the window. Batman's hanging on the ledge, and Gordon's just like pointing a gun at him. A Manhunter gun.
Nice. Well, okay. Back up for a second now.
Yes.
I'm a tremendous fan of Walter Simonson.
Yes.
Okay. And Simonson, along with Archie Goodwin, did a Manhunter serial in Detective Comics that won lots of awards back in about 72 or 73, I think. And it was like some of Simonson's earliest work. But he was Paul Kirk Manhunter, the original one from the 40s, not the Manhunter robots, which is still great. If you haven't read it, you should read it. It's awesome. But,
I've read a few of those. I haven't read the whole. Yeah, I
because they were like 8-page chapters, and then it reached a crescendo in a full issue of Detective.
Yeah, I've read a few of them, but yeah. Oh yeah, and then you got the Mark Shaw Manhunter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, did I miss? Did Geraldo make an appearance?
I don't know. Maybe there's lots of.
That's what it says. Geraldo first appearance.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't give a last name; it just says Geraldo. I was like, wait, is that Geraldo Rivera? Oh yeah, and what about that thing with Harbinger? Because again, during Crisis, she was helping the Monitor keep fouls on everybody, and then once he died, she was just like, I'm going to put him in this little sphere and just shoot it off into space. Well, guess who grabbed it? The Manhunters.
That's because what they do.
Because she was bored and nothing to do. It's like, the multiverse is gone. The monitor's dead. I got nothing to do.
Yeah, I'll finish documenting this and shoot it into space.
It's like, how about something that, if someone tries to tamper with it, it blows up or something.
Or alerts you. I mean, I don't know.
Somehow destroys the information inside. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think maybe all the superheroes didn't want their identities and stuff floating around in the ether for anyone to pick up?
I'm sure it's fine, Phil. This is fine. It'll be fine.
All right. So, and then again, and again, our last member, the Floronic Man, Jason Woodrow.
Who's nuts.
And a villain, yes, and helped create Poison Ivy, and basically fought the Swamp Thing, and yeah, he's been all over.
So I do want to mention something. So we know the New Gods series lasted 12 issues. At the final issue, number 12, it says Tom uses his new powers to free the Guardians from the villain and defeating. This then reveals the true plan of Harupa Hondo Hu and Nadia Saphir and why the Guardians were created. Okay, so there we go. So I guess that means we're going to have to read all 12 issues of New Guard. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding.
12 issues of New Guardians? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. All of them don't survive that series, do they?
I don't think so. I mean, is Harbinger still around?
I don't know. There were so many continuities ago. Let me see. Harbinger. There's a link here. Yeah, Lila Michaels.
I think she's still around, but then one of them died pretty recently, right? In a Green Lantern related book.
Oh, that's right. During, what was that, like early 2000s? Remember when they reintroduced the Kryptonian Supergirl in the continuity? Was that Jeff Loeb?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I do remember that. Yeah, she was living on Paradise Island with the Amazons at that point.
Okay.
But in that story, yeah, she gave her life in an attempt to save Kara, and it turned out that the death she had foreseen was her own all along. But of course, they always hand the Blackest Night. She came back as a Black Lantern during Blackest Night, so I guess that's the last thing it has listed. So
nice. And then somebody else sacrificed himself on an island in a story. Was that early? Was that Green Lantern Volume 3 early? That may have been like pre-Third Law or something. One of them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Because wasn't somebody hunting the New Guardians? Yeah, that's right.
I think so. That's been a long time ago.
I think that planted to see that long back, kids, where Will was like, we should read Millennium sometime.
You should read Millennium and find this out. We're finding it out now. Yay.
I was going to say, I think that was pre-episode 100, kids.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yes.
It has been a while.
All right. So should we get to the next one?
You bet.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we got three more. We got number 3, then we got the Green Lantern issue, then we got number 4. So.
Number 4. So, yep. Let's roll, man. Let's roll.
All right. Here we go. All right. Millennium. Pull up the link here. Millennium number 3 from January 1988. Over, under, now. Issue 3. Back. Same creative team. Events related to the Millennium Project proceed at a rapid pace across the globe. Even as the Manhunters monitor the progress of their agents, newscaster Tawny Young is recruited to their cause by her station manager. The Russian member of the Chosen, Nikolai Latikov, is murdered by the KGB, and Blue Beetle reports the death of Selima Branazar to the Guardian and the Zamorin. President Reagan's public reaction to the crisis is influenced by his wife, herself a Manhunter. And at a Justice at a Justice League press conference, Booster Gold accosts Harry Hadley, whom he discovers is a Manhunter assigned to watch Captain Atom. The various superheroes set out to bring the remaining Chosen to the Green Lantern Citadel. The Outsiders battle a corps of Manhunters in Tokyo and escape with Takeo Yakata Infinity Inc. picks up Betty Clawman in the Australian outback, and JLI members Batman, Mr. Miracle, and Guy Gardner fight Manhunter sleepers in Birmingham and depart with Celia Windward. Wonder Woman is put off by the superior attitude of her charge, Jan Willem Croef. Flash gives needed moral support to a suicidal Gregorio de la Vega, and Green Lantern's John Stewart and Katma Tui Stewart and Kilowog are attacked by a lone Manhunter agent in Shanghai, where they find Zhang Pao waiting for them. Counting the two who have been killed, this accounts for all but one of the Chosen. Unknown to all, however, a Manhunter in the guise of an Arkham Asylum doctor has freed the missing member, the Floronic Man. Then, even as the last of the other Chosen arrive in California, Tom Kalamaku and his family are discovered to be missing. All right, thoughts?
Yeah, Nancy Reagan as a Manhunter. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
I love there's two notes for this issue. This issue is reprinted in the Millennium trade paperback, so they did collect this. And 2, it is implied here that Nancy Reagan is a Manhunter agent.
Nice. I'm really kind of shocked after reading the first 4 issues and then the Green Lantern issue. I mean, Guy Gardner is front and center on this cover, but he plays such a minor role throughout all 4 issues and even the Green Lantern Corps issue. I don't know what was going on in JLI at the time, but
do you think it was there were so many moving parts and they're just like, yeah, let's not. They didn't want to monkey too much with whatever J.M. DeMatteis had going on, and it's just like, yeah, no.
In JLI, yeah, that may be it. I mean, it was interesting because he is a Green Lantern,
yeah,
but he's barely in this thing so far.
He got more to do than Chip and Salak.
That's true. That is true.
And again, well, except for like that, except for the Green Lantern issue, where Hal has something to do with the rest of them, and she's like, we're standing around like, oh yes, I know this person, or oh yes, that's right. Or hey, nice to meet you, Jade.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of changes to Green Lantern, in just 2 short years, to get us to Emerald Dawn and the beginning of the road back with V3 #1. So yeah, I mean, and of course the DC universe is still, I think I know what it is. The DC universe still has that pre-crisis feel to it, even though it's post-crisis.
Yeah.
It hasn't really become, what it would be in the 90s, right?
Yeah, there was like a year or 2 after Crisis where I think a lot of them were like trying to figure out where to go after Crisis, especially books that didn't have like a hard reboot like Superman or Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. And does that sound familiar at all? 52, excuse me.
Sounds like something nasty you're coming down with there, yeah. Case of the new 52s.
It's deadly. It's deadly.
I think I remember reading somewhere where, like, yeah, poor J.M. DeMatteis, when he got the Justice League book, they were like, well, you can't have Superman, can't have Batman, or can't have Wonder Woman. We'll give you Batman. Okay, thanks. And Green Lantern. We can give you Guy Gardner. Can't have any of the other ones.
Yeah.
Not going to get any of the big 7 yet. Okay.
Okay, cool.
But he still spun gold out of that with Keith Giffen.
That is true. That is very true. And Kevin McGuire.
Yes. All right. You want to get to the Green Lantern issue? Because that comes between 3 and 4.
Let's do it.
With someone's favorite character, Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who that would be. Isn't that a great... I mean, that is a great cover.
It is. I mean, yeah.
I always thought, okay, Hal's been attacked and he's alone on an ice planet. This has got to be cool. Well, it's not as cool as I would have hoped.
Ice planet Alaska.
Exactly.
All right, kids. Green Lantern Corps 220 from January 1988. Sacred Identities. Get it, kids? Writer still Steve Englehart, penciler Bill Willingham, inker Mark Farmer, colorist Anthony Tollin, letterer Augustus Moss, and editor Andrew Helfer. The Kalamaku family has disappeared from the Green Lantern Citadel. Hal Jordan goes in search of them, accompanied by the cynical Celia Windward. Not finding the Kalamakus at home, they go to the Ferris aircraft plant, where an employee, Mr. Donahue, tells Green Lantern that he witnessed Tom Kalamaku's theft of the company's solar jet. No sooner does Green Lantern depart the company, head Mr. Smith, now known to be a Manhunter, murders Donahue, then has a plane prepared to follow Green Lantern. Trailing the Kalamakus to Tom's and Tigra's birthplace in Alaska, Hal tries to convince his friend to rejoin the Chosen, but Tom has put his family responsibilities first and wants no part of the Owens plan. Before the two can argue further, Mr. Smith arrives in full Manhunter regalia and challenges Green Lantern to combat. They battle to the edge of space and back, and Smith appears victorious until a rock thrown by Celia distracts the Manhunter long enough for Green Lantern to fight back and ultimately defeat him. Despite her doubts of the Owens, Celia is now convinced that the Manhunter's evil must be opposed. As for Tom, he and his family agree to return with Green Lantern and Celia. Meanwhile, Kilowog, desiring revenge for the murder of his people, confronts their killer, Sinestro, held prisoner by the Green Lanterns on the moon. Aricia follows him and fights to prevent him from murdering the renegade Green Lantern, but although Kilowog overcomes her, he regretfully refrains from executing the villain at the last moment. Aricia and Kilowog return to Earth, agreeing that Sinestro will be tried for his crimes once the Millennium Project is completed. Why don't you just ask Jon Stewart to do it?
Just tell him Sinestro's, about to share secret codes that you really probably shouldn't need anyway to get into OA, but whatever.
Or he's sending out a bunch of rings, evil Green Lantern rings, something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, this is one of my favorite covers from this volume of Green Lantern. I love this cover. The story, though, I mean, what does it really do? Tom, it's like this. Hey, everybody's here. Oh, hey, Tom's not here. We got to go get Tom. But he wanted to leave. We got to convince him. Okay, now he comes back. I mean, the poor guy got killed at Ferris Aircraft.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we needed a Green Lantern tie-in issue, but it's like, what are we going to do? Sit around the Citadel the whole issue? So
yeah. So I mean, I get it. It's just, it feels like it was a whole lot of doing nothing, right? It was like a whole lot of movement to get nowhere. Exactly where we started. And
I was like, I forgot. I was like, ew, Mr. Smith is still at Ferris. So I was just like, Carol's off in space. And
now, from a current Green Lantern kind of standpoint, or post-rebirth Green Lantern kind of standpoint, this is where they, right before they agreed to kill Sinestro and put him in the battery, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
So then this would be where he contacts Parallax, I would assume.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So I could be wrong, but I think I think the timeline tracks on that, but I'm not sure.
So yeah, so Parallax and Sinestro have been plotting this since 1988.
Thank you, Millennium.
They were plotting their revenge longer than you, Malvolio.
He's still doing it.
He's still doing it. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, at least Sinestro's plan came to fruition. He's being very careful, Will. Malvolio is being very careful.
Very careful. Very slow and methodical.
Oh my God! I don't care what capacity. Mark Waid, just bring back some Malvolio. So I think the new Justice League starts this week. Just come on, Malvolio somewhere. Come on.
Yeah, let's tie that one up. Bring back Katma. Bring back Malvolio, and then we've pretty much wiped all of Action Comics Weekly from everything.
And have Oprah Winfrey apologize to Hal Jordan.
Nice. Very nice.
But yeah, like you said, it was like, okay, so we have to chase after Tom and bring him back,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, this is not a bad issue. It's just, and again here, Green Lantern seems so underpowered, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, again, is that why a lot of times now we take them off Earth and stuff, because if we keep them on Earth, they're kind of overpowered sometimes?
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, that's now contrast this fight with a Manhunter. Granted, it's a human. Is it a human Manhunter, or is he an old Manhunter robot?
I don't know. It's so weird, because that's what I was going to say. Also, in this story, do the Manhunters seem not as robotic as we're used to? They almost seem like they're human personalities, even the robots. So. Yeah,
take this fight and now look at the fight, post Rebirth the very first few issues of Green Lantern with Hal and that Manhunter, and the new Manhunter that's trying to kill the old man. I mean, they don't really compare.
Or even like the once or twice Kal Rayner, during his run ran in the Manhunters.
Yeah. Yeah, Manhunter as art, and bad idea, Kyle. I'm just saying. It's gonna bite you, dude. It's gonna bite you.
Exactly. All right, should we wrap this up?
You bet.
All right, let's get to number 4. Well, wrap up the first half, kids.
Right, we got one more week of this.
Oh man, there was 2 months of this. Damn. All right. So, like I said, I was reading a lot of the tie-ins, but not the main series. All right. So,
and I had the same question for Madame Xanadu in here too, so we'll get to that.
Okay. Millennium number 4. Would you like to guess the January 1988? Want to guess the title?
Let's see. It was over, under, back. Is this front?
Fourth.
Okay.
Forth. Fourth. Same team. With the capture of the Floronic Man, all 8 of the surviving Chosen have finally arrived at the Green Lantern Citadel. Batman, however, is dissatisfied with the hero's lack of success so far in foiling the Manhunters. Recalling Mark Shaw, the Manhunter who once battled the Justice League, he discovers a connection. Shaw is currently incarcerated at Belle Reve Prison, which is located in the same Louisiana bayou where the Floronic Man had been captured. Immediately, the Cape Crusader jets to Louisiana, where at that moment the Manhunters are gathered in a secret stronghold. The recently converted Firestorm is also among them, and when one of his presents reaches Wade Island, he dispatches Captain Atom to contend with the Nuclear Man. Back at the Green Lantern Citadel, the Guardian and the Zamaron offer the Chosen a final chance to change their minds about the participation in the Millennium Project. When none decline, the Owens begin their instruction. Are you sure? Are you sure? At Belle Reve, however, a different meeting is taking place. A briefing of the Suicide Squad, which has just been assigned to find and destroy the nearby Manhunter base. No sooner does the squad, including Mark Shaw and his privateer identity, depart than Batman arrives to be told by the Warden that Shaw has served his time and has been released. The Dark Knight detective is not deceived and proceeds to track Shaw and the squad into the swamp. In New York, a Manhunter attacks Madame Xanadu, thus drawing Jim Corrigan, Kim Liang, and the Spectre into the fray. When they too deduce the location of the Manhunter's headquarters. On the planet Orinda, Harbinger strives to escape her captors. Near the Citadel, the Floronic Man secretly contacts a Manhunter agent, and in Louisiana, Batman, the Suicide Squad, Captain Atom, and the Spectre each pursue separate paths to the same goal. So, we're about to get
So, couple of notes here. This Spectre series was the one right before the Ostrander Mandrake Spectre series, which was so awesome.
Yeah.
I think the series that they would do after that was the Martian Manhunter series, the same writer and artist, John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake. But, Madame Xanadu, you can see the future. You didn't see yourself getting clocked on the back of the head?
She said she saw it, but it had to happen. Really?
Yeah, really? Why not just say no?
Is it like one of those Infinity War Endgame things where Doctor Strange had to get dusted himself for the one positive outcome out of 10 million?
I don't know. But yeah, there is a big honkin' 4-way crossover coming the next week, I think, in
Detective Comics 582, Suicide Squad number 9, Captain Atom 11, and the Spectre number 10.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, aren't there like 58 or 56 total Millennium crossovers?
Well, you figure two issue. 2 months, and then every book got at least one Millennium crossover. And again, at this point, Superman had 3 books, so there's probably like 6 right there. Yeah. I think Batman and Detective. I think there was at least 1 issue of Batman, if not 2. I think Detective got to 2. Wow. But yeah, it's. Everyone got at least 1. Green Lantern's got 2. Flash got, I think, 2 or 3.
Wow. big honking deal
Mhm.
that nobody remembers except who remembered it, Phil? Not Pepperidge Farms.
You beat me to it. Oh, Will Allred?
Nope. Friend of the show.
Wait, what? You lost?
Because he brought it back and put a battery on Earth because of Millennium.
Oh, that's right.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics
That's right.
podcast.
Yeah. Oh, God bless you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil's not happy. Phil's not happy with you, Jeremy Adams, because we're now doing Millennium. So there you go.
Don't blame Jeremy Adams for your poor life choices, Will Allred.
It's interesting, kind of archaeologically, right? I mean, because it's so old, and it's. Let's just finish it, okay?
Okay. That was the last issue this week. So good night, kids.
No, it's honestly, it is interesting because it's not something that maybe I read it when it came out. I don't remember if I did, but the DC universe at the time was much different than it would become in the 90s, 2000s, New 52, or even today, right? I mean, there's so much difference between then and now. It's kind of cool to see.
Well, like we said, yeah. Again, it was a weird time because Crisis. It was right after Crisis, and it's like, well, what's still in continuity? What's not in continuity?
Well, I mean, we had an appearance of the he has the mask that lets you makes other people feel emotions.
Oh, the Psycho Pirate.
Psycho Pirate. So this was an appearance, I believe, before Grant Morrison's appearance, or the Grant Morrison Animal Man series, where the Psycho Pirate he remembers everything. He remembers the pre-crisis stuff, right?
I think so, but I mean, he should have remembered it here, because I think, isn't that like the last page of Crisis is him in his cell screaming, I remember them all,
exactly.
multiverse or whatever.
Not, I beat the Teen Titans and the Outsiders, or whatever the heck he was saying.
Yeah. I was like, him and Harbinger should be the ones who remember the multiverse.
Yep, exactly.
Everyone else is just like, oh, what was Crisis on Infinite? What was Crisis? Oh yeah, the antimatter universe tried to destroy us. So the Anti-Monitor. Okay.
Oh, okay, whatever. No, that wasn't it.
But it's so weird. No one remembers there was a Supergirl, but they remember Barry Allen sacrificing himself.
Yeah, and I'm curious because we got a reintro of the multiverse, a limited multiverse with Infinite Crisis, right?
Yeah.
We get something else with Final Crisis. I'm gonna have to finish reading that one of these days. I don't know, but anyway. But then we get Dark Knight's Metal, and then we get Dark Knight's Death Metal. Now, doesn't Death Metal just say everything happened?
Oh yeah, because it's a omniverse. There's multiple multiverses in this omniverse. Yeah. Everything happened somewhere. Yeah.
And Phil, we heard of the Omniverse in another title. I wonder what that was, Phil.
That would be Quasar.
That would be right.
I mean, that was their chance there to do a crossover with Marvel, or Mm-hmm. Oh, but you forget in the middle there. I don't think we're there yet, but I believe some point in New 52 they're like, oh yeah, there's multiple universes. There's 52 of them.
Okay, I thought that's what they had in Infinite Crisis. The 52 universes, and they numbered each one of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, supposedly in Crisis on Infinite Earths they were infinite. I was like, that's why I kept waiting for Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, 52 Crisis on 52 Earths. Doesn't sound as cool though, does it?
No. Although back in the day, I mean, in the Silver Age, I mean, didn't they do like Crisis on Earth 2 and stuff, or stuff like that? I mean, that was cool.
Think about it. If there really are infinite Earths, how could the Antimatter destroy all of them? Because even if one took a second to destroy an infinite number of seconds,
and if it's infinite, if it's infinite, shouldn't they keep popping up into existence? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
It was so weird. DC thought things were too convoluted, so they just wanted to make one universe. But
yeah, no, they wanted to be like Marvel.
And then what was that? The late '90s, they did that weird hyper time thing.
Yes,
it's not a multiverse, but there's wacky stuff going on in this hyper time thing.
Yeah, and then we of course get hyper time in the Volume 5 volume 7, the Thorn Run.
Oh, okay.
Which still hasn't really been explained or anything to my satisfaction anyway.
Is that a polite way when they ignore what would happen in the last volume? Is that the writer's polite way of saying, yeah, I really didn't like that?
Maybe. I mean, but it's not being completely ignored. There are some things.
Yeah, no, not everything. But, I mean, we still haven't seen the second Jon Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. And, who was maybe going to find Katma out there in Hypertime Dark Sectors, right? So,
yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. So, Millennium, Phil, how's it going?
It's a sprint, not a jog.
I may have to just do a little side reading on my own and read the 12 issues of New Guardians, just so I can, because I figure we're not going to get any closure from Millennium because it's going to be a launching point for the New Guardian series, right?
Yep.
So I may have to do that as a side project just to find out what happens,
Because Will Allred hates himself, kids.
Nobody hates me more than me.
Someone's going to hate me, I'm going to do it. If someone has to hate you, you got to do it yourself.
That's right. Do it right.
All right. Anything else, Will?
I think this is an excellent issue number 200. Episode 200,
Yes,
sorry.
yes. If I could put foil on the art, I would.
Yeah, Smell-O-Vision, some Prism, some
gatefold cover.
Die cut it. Yeah, we'll just do the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. So next time, oh God, we're doing more Millennium. Dear God in heaven. All right. So yes, next time we're gonna do the second half of Millennium. We'll do Millennium 5 and 6, Superman 14 with special guest Hal Jordan.
Woohoo!
Millennium number 7, Green Lantern Corps 221, and then wrap the whole thing up in Millennium number 8. So,
right. 6 issues, right?
God, yeah. There's only 5 this time. Oh, wait, Lord. So yeah, we'll get some burn art next time, kids. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, and of course, I'm sure you know, and then the episode in 2 weeks, that'll be the last episode of the year, the Larfleeze Christmas special. Make it yours, kids.
Mine.
And then in January, after the first week of Green Lantern Corps 16 and annual number 1, then week 2, January, we jump right in the Wrath of the First Lantern for 4 weeks.
So wait, you're telling me that Rise of the Third Army finally ends? You're not joking with me. Rise of the Third Army has an ending point.
Yeah.
You're serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
it's only been going on forever.
Guess they finally made their way across the universe. Well, they had to wait till to the start of the next business year. Will.
Okay. Nice.
All right. So yes, send us your thoughts, and again, more Millennium next week. So send us your thoughts on Millennium. Are we being hard on it? Are we not being hard enough on it? Well,
I don't think it's bad. It's definitely from a different time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and I think that influences a lot. Plus,
yeah,
it has this whole weird pre-crisis, post-crisis feel to it because of when it was published. So good. They never put it out digitally. Exactly.
Send us your thoughts, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes Lunatics merch, the classic Capes Lunatics merch. It's all good. Every member of the family will love the Capes Lunatics merchandise. So get the whole family Capes and Lunatics merch for the holidays. And of course, even scarier than a Millennium, Lilith Hellfire demands that you rain the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Remember, kids, you're going to start drinking again in 2025, so... and of course the Patreon, where Lilith and I give you uncensored exclusive content every month. And again, if you are a patron, we do take suggestions. Like we've taken some Justin suggestions, including in 2025 we may do another Justin suggestion and maybe do the greatest superhero movie that's not a Marvel or DC movie.
Rocketeer,
maybe. Who knows? Could be. I'm sure it'll be in the running. I like that movie.
I do too.
All right. So tell us what to do and subscribe at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics and find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. Sorry. Cut the .com.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this Will Allred. This guy who bought me this hat. You can Master of the Green Lantern Corps, Master of the Quantum Zone. See, he just wants me to be free advertise his website.
Quasar's awesome.
Exactly. Master of Podcasting and several Kickstarter campaigns. Successful Kickstarter campaigns. Millennium messed me up, man. All right, so
you're just evolving, Phil. You're just evolving.
That's what we'll call it. All right, well, tell them where they can find some good stories.
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED. Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook and still even on Twitter. And maybe some other places that I've probably forgot that I set it up. But if you'd like to check out the books that I write, you can do that. The first one is Crossover Division. You can find that at crossoverdivision.com. We're still getting ready to launch the 6th issue of that on Kickstarter. So you can always get previous issues, and we have a nice, really pretty hardcover collection that came out not too long ago. If you'd like to check out Diary of Night, you can do that at diaryofnight.com. And I've got a trade of that available if you'd like to read those 4 issues. And finally, you obviously got great taste because you're hanging out with Phil and I talking Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar nearly as much as we do. Obviously, we love it a lot. So if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I am God.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices. I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Will Allred and Aricia.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Nice.
All right. Only one of them was brainwashing and doing it, though. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Millennium Week 2, Part 2 next week, and then wrap up the year with the Larfleeze Christmas special. And then in January, the day Will Allred thought would never get here, Rise of the Third Army is over. Wrath of the First Lantern will start. I was gonna say, look at us matching hats. Huh? I was gonna say I look like one of Will Allred's kids, but I'm not big enough.
They are tall.
All right, kids, come back next time, and remember, friends don't let friends let a manhunter tell them not to do drugs. Good night.